Hey Adventurers, so today is going to be my series check-in as of January 18th, 2026. Probably by the time you're seeing this, some things have changed on this list, hopefully. But when I wrote this update, I think it was in December still, and there have been things that have changed. And so I just quickly went and rewrote this, updated it rather. And so yeah, let's go through this. I have over 50 series that I have started. Some of them are ongoing, some of them are caught up, some of them I've only read the first book in the series, and that's not good. That's way too many. I need to make some serious progress on working through series this year. But there is also a little bit of nuance to some of that, and I will talk about those as I come to them. As I have been doing with these check-ins, I split them up to with ongoing series. These are the series that I'm actively reading. I'm at least 2 books into the series. So not just the first book, that would be in a different category. But these are the books that I've read at least 2 books in the series, and I'm actively continuing through them. That's the first category. Then I have caught up. These are books that I have read, all the books that are out in the series, whether this is only book 1 or whether it's several books out in the series. I am completely caught up as of the day I'm filming this, and as of how many books are in this series that are out. Then I have started. These are books that I've read the first book in the series, or maybe a novella that's in the series. For some reason, somehow I have started these series, but I have not continued through them. Then I have DNF'd. These are books series that I have decided not to continue with. And then I have finished. These are the series that I have finished since the last time I did one of these updates. So let's try and go through these pretty quickly. Starting with ongoing, the first one I have is the Redwall series. There are 2 books that I have not read in this series. That is all. There are several books that as I'm rereading the entirety of the series, I've got another 7 or so, 8 maybe, that I have not yet read. So there's definitely some more that I need to read, but there's 2 that I definitely have to read in order for me to say this series, I have read every book in the series that was published. So there's 2 more of that, but I'm not worried about that. I love these books. It doesn't matter. Maze Runner by James Dashner. Redwall is by Brian Jakes, but Maze Runner is by James Dashner. I have read the first 3 books in the series, Maze Runner and Scorched Trials and Death Cure. I know that there are other books after that, and I haven't decided if I'm going to continue with those books. I probably will at some point, but I'm not super worried about that right now. But I have read 3 of the books in that series, and however more books there are in the series, I don't know. Greentown by Ray Bradbury. This is technically a series. This is technically a series of 3 books that are set in this Greentown, and so they are considered a series, but they're not really connected. They're standalone books set in this town, and so they are considered a series, but they're not really. And so I have one left, which is Farewell Summer, I believe is the title of it, and I think it's actually a novella, and so getting through that shouldn't take me too long, which would be great. I would love to get through that and finish that series up as well. Lightbringer by Brent Weeks. This is one that I have 1 book left. The Burning White is the final book in the series. I need to finish that one up. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do that, because my library doesn't have the audiobook for it anymore. Children of the Consortium by Consortium, I think is how I heard the author pronounce it actually. But anyways, I've read the first 2 books in this trilogy. The 3rd book, Guardian, I have not yet read. I don't own it physically yet, and so I need to get that in order for me to finish up that series. But I would like to this year. Legends of the First Empire. At the time of filming this, I am currently reading book 5 in that series, which is Empire of Death, and so I have to finish Empire of Death, and then I have Age of Death, that's what they're called. Age of Death is the book that I'm on, and then I have Age of Empire is the final book in that series, and so hopefully I can finish that up fairly quickly here. How to Train Your Dragon, I read the 7th book, I think, in that series. I'm not really worrying about this one. This one, although it is technically an ongoing series for me, I'm really not fretting about not having completed the series, because I really don't care. They're just kind of fun things that when I need an audiobook and there's nothing else available, I go pick one up type thing. And it usually takes me a day to finish it. So yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. The Sackets by Louis L'Amour. I have read a handful of these books. I have not read one in a long time because I didn't have the next book in the series. I think I do now, and so I need to continue on through that series. But The Sackets by Louis L'Amour I don't even know how many books are in this series, 14 or something like that. So I've got a good ways to go on that one. Pendragon Cycle by Stephen R. Lawhead. There's a prequelish novel that came out in 2025 titled Aurelia that I have not yet read because there's not an audiobook for it, and I read too slowly physically to have bought the physical book and read it as of yet. But if assuming there will ever be an audiobook for it, I will get to that one fairly quickly. There's also Avalon The Return of King Arthur, I believe, is the subtitle, and that is a book that is kind of sort of set in the Arthurian, what is this, the Pendragon cycle, but also not really, and so I'm not really worried about that, but I would like to finish that one up as well. But at least for the sake of the series, I need to do Aurelia. Then I have Dune by Frank Herbert. This is, I'm 2 books into this. I am only planning to read the first 3 or the first 6. I haven't decided yet, but at least the first 3. And then if I decide to continue on through the first 6, that will be where I stop and stop counting the series as something that I'm focusing on or reading or anything like that. So I need to continue with this, but I haven't decided what I'm going to do for that as of yet. And at least I'll read book 3. The Dark Tower is an interesting one because it'll show up in a different place here, because I have not yet decided if I'm going to continue reading The Dark Tower. I've read the first 2 books in the series, and I am not sure. I'm really not sure if I want to continue. I do know a guy who said, yeah, you should continue, you should keep reading them, this is why, type thing. And so I'm kind of interested in reading more, but I'm at the same time, I really don't know. I haven't decided. I had previously decided to DNF it, and I am not sure at the moment. But it's very possible that it's going to be a DNF. Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. I've read the first 2 books in the series, which is Howl's Moving Castle and Castle in the Sky, and the final book is The House of Many Ways, and so I need to get to that one. It shouldn't take me, honestly, I'll probably get to that one in quarter 1, maybe quarter 2, but we'll see what I have for audiobooks. I'm excited to finish that series up. That'll be fun. Aubrey and Maturin by Patrick O'Brien. This is the Master and Commander series. I have read 2 books in the series and I want to get back to it. I love the nautical fiction aspect of it, and they're super fun. I enjoy them a lot. They're classics and they're good. Flavia de Luce by Alan Bradley is the author of the Flavia de Luce series. I've read the first 2 books in that series, and I think there's like 7 or something in the series. So yeah, I will get to those as I get to them. 6, 6.5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's at least 12 books in the series. I don't think the 12th book is out as of yet. It's published yet. So anyways, there's at least 11 books that I need to read in that series. I've read the first 2. I'm not worrying about that one, but it's a kind of fun mystery series to just plug in whenever I need an audiobook type thing and want to, that sort of thing. The Edan trilogy by Philip Chase. I am counting this as the trilogy, and I'm not including the sequel, which is Darkness Gathers, I believe, is the title of the sequel. I'm just counting the trilogy, the first 3 books that he wrote and published, and I'm just waiting on the audiobook for the 3rd book, which is Return to Edan, I believe. And once that one comes out, I'll finish up that series, which will be good to knock that off as well. Sherlock Holmes. This is another one where it is technically a series. There's a whole bunch of Sherlock Holmes stories by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I really don't care if this is another one where I'm not worried about it at all. They're just, whenever I want to pick one up, I'll pick one up and read it type thing. But it is a series, and so it's on this list. And I have read 2 Sherlock Holmes books by Arthur Conan Doyle. Then I have The Arthurian Saga by Mary Stewart. I've read the first 3 books. First 3 books or only the first 2 books? I think I've only read the first 2 books in this series. That's right. And it's a 5-book series. I've read the first 2. I have 3 left. I'm going to try and get that done in 2026. It's a trilogy. Should be able to space them out throughout the year pretty easily, and that'll be good to get through and finish that up. So those are my 17 ongoing series at the moment. As for caught up series, these are the series that I'm caught up on, and we'll just go through these really quickly. Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, I'm caught up on. The Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, I'm caught up on. The Collation Saga by Andrew D. Meredith, with the exception of there is one short story, or I guess it's a novella, and that is currently out titled 3 Coins for the Judge, that I am actually reading digitally at the moment, and so that's my current e-read. It's not part of the Collation Saga, but it is part of the world of Calatai, and so I'm just mentioning it here, but that is one that I have not yet read. That's the only thing published as of today that I have not yet read in the world of Calatai. And then he does have a short story coming out in the Honor anthology that is also set in the world of Calatai, and so I'll have that as well, but those aren't Collation Saga. Phase by Tori Tekken. There's only 1 book out in this duology, I believe is what it's supposed to be, so I've read Phased. Legends of the Bruhai by Tori Tekken. I have read the first book out in that series, and while I'm at it, I will pull that other one up, Shade Silver by Tori Tekken. I'm caught up on that series as well, which is, the first book is, well, let's see, Legends of the Bruhai, the first book is The Bloodstones, and then Shade Silver, the first book is Cold Silver for Souls. Lawful Times by Daniel B. Green. I don't know if I'm going to continue this series. As of right now, I've read the first 2 books in the series, and I'm not sure if I'm going to continue or not. So it's currently sitting there, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it as of now. Then I have Calculated by Nova McBee. There's 3 books out in this series. I've read all 3 of them. They're all fantastic. I'm waiting for book 4, which is hopefully coming out this year. I know the title of book 4. There's a cover reveal in February for book 4, so hopefully we're getting movement on it, and hopefully it'll come out this year, and hopefully I can finish it up this year. Wars of Wrath by I Anonymous. I've read the first 2 books in the series. Those are the only 2 books that are published. If more books come out, I will read more books in that series. The Awakening by Jonathan Rinshaw. The first book is Dawn of Wonder, and that's the only book out, so I'm caught up on that one. Gawain by J.P. Harker. This is a series that Harker is writing about. There's standalone books about various characters from the Arthurian world. The first one was about Gawain, and then we're going to see what happens with these other characters that he's exploring. I don't believe there's another book out yet. I haven't heard anything about that, but once there is, I will read that one because I'm enjoying it, and it's Arthuriana. Protectors of Brittany by Mike Mullman. I am caught up on that series. I've read all 4 books that are published. Unbreakable Trilogy, or The More Than Human Universe, both of those by J.R. Carroll. The Unbreakable Trilogy is his series that's set within that world. He's published 2 books in that trilogy, but also there's 4 or 5 books, I can't remember now, that are out in the More Than Human Universe. So the Unbreakable Trilogy sets itself within this More Than Human universe. But I've read all the books that are published in both of those, so I'm caught up on that. Ashes of Averin by Thiago Abdallah. I'm caught up on that. There's only 2 books out in that series, as well as a prequel novella, and I've read all 3 of those. Spokane Clock Tower Mysteries by Patricia Meredith. I have read all 3 books that are published in that series, so I'm caught up. Land of Exiles by J.L. Odom. This is a haunt, or what's the first book? By Blood, by Salt, and then book 2 is A Haunt for Jackals. I have read both of those books. I would like to reread them, but I have read both of them. I'm caught up. I'm waiting for book 3 whenever book 3 comes out. Memories of Kinjir by Abel Montero. I've read the first book, The Crimson Fire, and then the second book, The Sunrise Dagger, is coming out, I believe, this year. So I'm excited for that one, and that's going to be another series that I read this year, or another book that I read this year when it comes out. The Bloodfire Trilogy by Daniel M. Quilter. This is the first book in this series. I just read it in 2020. What is it called? A Soul Divided. And I enjoyed it. It's a sci-fi series, but I have started that one. I have read the first book. That's the only book that's out so far, so I'm caught up on that series as well. And then I accidentally put the Belgariad in this section. It's not supposed to go in this section. It is supposed to go in the ongoing series section, under that heading, because I have read 2 books in that series, and there's another, how many books are in the series? I think there's 6 in the series, maybe. I don't know, but I want to continue and finish out Belgariad because I'm enjoying that a lot. It's great. But that is an ongoing series, and it's not supposed to be in my caught up list. So I have 18 ongoing series, 18 series that are caught up, and now we're on my started series. So these are the series that I have started, but I haven't continued past book 1 on. The Thrawn Trilogy by Timothy Zahn. This is the Disney era Star Wars trilogy that he wrote. I've read the first book. I have not continued on, even though I do have book 2. I would like to continue listening to them because I'll get to them a lot faster on audio than I will physically, but I do plan to get to that. So I have that one. Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I am not caught up on this series. I've read the first book, and I honestly, it's kind of one where the first book was good enough, but I don't know that I want to continue. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. The Weaver Trilogy by Lindsay Franklin. I've read the first book. Is it Lindsay A. Franklin? I don't know. I've read the first book in this series, which was, I've started the series. I've read the first book. The Story Peddler is the first book. I really loved the world and the magic of this series, and so I would like to go back to it and continue, but I haven't done so yet. Ruritanian Romances by, who are these by? The first book is The Prisoner of Zinda by Anthony Hope is the first book. There's Rupert of Hinsau is the second, and then The Heart of Princess Osra. So there's 3 books that I need to read in that series. I've read the first one. They're classics. I'm not really worried about continuing on with the series, but it is one that I have technically started, and so it's on this list. His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. I've read the first book, The Amber Spyglass. Is that what it's called? It was good. I don't know that I read the first book a long time ago, and I don't know that I want to continue with the series, so I haven't decided yet on that. World War II, 1939 through 1945, the first book in this, it's by Michael Shara, if I remember correctly, and this is, I read it in 2024. It's one of my favorite books that I read in 2024. The Rising Tide. It's either Michael Shara or Jeff Shara, I don't remember, one of the two. And I have started that series. I believe it's a trilogy of World War II novels. It might be more, but I think it's a trilogy. And I would like to continue with it. I just haven't done so yet. Dance of Light by Gregory Contaxis. I've read the first book, which is Return of the Knights. And this is one where I don't know if I'm going to continue with the series. I haven't decided one way or the other yet. Winter Night Trilogy by Catherine Arden. Same thing. I read the first book, which is The Bear and the Nightingale, and I haven't decided if I'm going to continue or not. A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I have read the first book in that series and will probably continue at some point, but I'm not worried about it. Strange the Dreamer duology by Laini Taylor, I believe is the author. I've read the first book. I haven't finished the duology. That's probably one that I will try and finish up here so that I can mark it as completed. Little Britches by Ralph Moody. I've read the first book in the series, which is Father and I Were Ranchers. I will probably go through and finish that series at some point because that's a fantastic series. It's from my childhood too, to some degree, but I don't remember it. Anyways, yeah, I'll probably read more of that series at some point. Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. I've read the first book. The second, there's 2 more books I think in the series. One of them is kind of adventurous, and then the third one is like theology, so I'm not sure how much of this I will read, but I'll probably read at least the second book, because I love the first book. Aftermath by Chuck Wendig. I've read the first book, which is titled Aftermath. This is a trilogy of Star Wars novels. I have the other 2 books in the trilogy physically, so I'll probably continue on them, but I'll probably listen to them on audiobook. I don't know when I'll get to them, but that's one that I will probably try and get through quicker than, sooner rather than later, I guess. The Darkwater Legacy by Chris Wooding. The Ember Blade is the first book in the Darkwater Legacy. The second book is Shadow Casket, and there is no third book as of yet. I assume there will be, but at the very least, Shadow Casket Book 2 I would like to read at some point, because I enjoyed the first book. Shadowbinders by Andrew Watson. This is his series. I haven't... What's the first book in the series? I can't remember what the first book in the series is, but I have actually only read a prequel novella to this series, which is titled Silence is Silver. He's got another novella coming out this year called Tomb of Tomes, I believe, and so I would like to try and read that one, but I'd also like to read the rest of his series because I'm enjoying it quite a bit, but I'm not worrying about that. I've read it. I'm counting it because I've read the novella, but I haven't really read a whole lot more. She by H. Rider Haggard. This is a series of 4 books, something like that, where of this main character, she or Aisha. I've read the first book. I don't really need to continue on, but I probably will at some point just because. And then The Gentleman Bastards by Scott Lynch. I've read the first book, The Lies of Loch Lamora. There's 2 more books out in the series. I don't know if it's been a while since book 3 came out, so I don't know if book 4 is coming out anytime soon, but supposedly. I will probably continue with the series because I enjoyed The Lies of Loch Lamora quite a bit. So those are the books that I have started. What is that? 17 series that I have started. So a lot. 55 series that are either started, caught up, or ongoing for me. That's a lot of series. I need to reduce those numbers significantly. As for DNF series, I have listed the Dark Tower here, but I'm not positive if I'm going to actually DNF it or if I may come back to it at some point. We'll see. But for now, I'm counting it as a DNF, although it is also in my ongoing series. And then as for the series that I finished, I have made some good progress. I'm very happy with the progress that has been made in this because of this one specific series. The first one on this list, I guess I'll mention, I finished 5 series since the last time I did one of these videos. The Wheel of Time is the first one. I finally finished The Wheel of Time, and I read several books in 2025 in this series. So I made some good progress on The Wheel of Time, and I finally finished it up. Very glad to have finished that up. Space Trilogy by C.S. Lewis. I've read all 3 of these books in this trilogy. I enjoyed them. They're not my favorite things of all time. Lewis is not my favorite writer of all time, but I appreciate them, and I did enjoy them well enough. The Locke Institute by A.R. Witham. This is another trilogy. It's so much fun. I read all 3 of those books. I don't know if all 3 of them came out in 2025 or if only 2 of them came out in 2025. Either way, I read at least... I finished it up, so I'm very glad to have finished that series up. It's fantastic. Reading the current plan is to read anything that Witham publishes. I'm kind of scared of this lit RPG that he's writing right now because I don't think that's a genre for me, but I'm going to give it a chance anyways. And then I have The Stones of Power duology by David Gemmell. I read both of these last year, and it was fun. They were good. I really enjoyed Gemmell's writing style, his voice as an author, and I'm glad that I finally started reading Gemmell. I have a whole bunch more that I need to read by him. And the last one I have is one that I actually just finished in January, The Leatherstocking Tales by James Fenimore Cooper. I had 1 book left to finish which was The Prairie. And I'm glad that I finally finished it and have finished this whole series. I love the series. I love James Fenimore Cooper's writing. I love the character of Natty Bumppo. Books 4 and 5 in the series, which are The Pioneers and The Prairie, are probably my least favorite in the series. I love the first, well, probably my favorite in the series is The Deerslayer and The Pathfinder. Those two are fantastic, incredible, great explorations of the character of Natty Bumppo. And then Last of the Mohicans, which is the most well-known, is sitting dead center between the top and the bottom. It's my third favorite, even though it's the second book in the series chronologically. And I think it's the second book that he wrote, actually, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. But whatever the case, I enjoyed the series a whole lot. The first 3 books are my favorite by far. The last 2 books are good, but I'm glad to have finished it up finally. So yeah, that is my series my series check-in as of January 18th, 2026. I'm hoping to make some serious progress and see some big shifts and changes in this list by next year, or at least by the next time I do a series check-in video, which maybe I won't wait a whole year to do it, but I probably will, because that's what it seems to be, what seems that I have been doing. Sure, we'll say it that way. Hopefully that made sense. Thank you guys for watching an Erudite Adventure. We post videos every Monday and Thursday and have our social medias linked in the description down below. We'll see you guys again soon. Stay warm.